Getting closer or changing perspective. A detailed guide for photographers. Photography is all about storytelling through visuals, and one of the most effective ways to make your images stand out is by getting closer to your subject or experimenting with unique perspectives. These techniques allow you to capture intricate details, create dynamic compositions, and evoke emotion in your viewers. Below, I'll break down how photographers can master these approaches, with practical tips and examples to elevate your craft. 1. Getting closer to your subject. Moving closer to your subject is a powerful way to create intimate, impactful images. By closing the physical distance, you emphasize details, textures, and emotions that might get lost in a wider shot. Here's how to make the most of this technique. Why get closer? Highlight details. Zooming in on a subject, whether it's a person's eyes, the texture of a flower petal, or the weathered grain of wood, reveals intricacies that add depth to your story. Eliminate distractions. A closer perspective often crops out unnecessary background elements, keeping the focus on your subject. Create intimacy. Proximity fosters a sense of connection, making viewers feel like they're part of the scene, especially in portrait or macro photography. Add drama. Filling the frame with your subject can make your image feel bold and immersive. How to get closer. Use your feet. Physically move closer to your subject rather than relying solely on zooming. This approach gives you more control over composition and depth of field. Example: in portrait photography, step closer to capture the subject's facial expression or the texture of their clothing, like the weave of a scarf or the glint in their eyes. Choose the right lens. Macro lenses. For extreme close-ups, e.g. insects, jewelry, or water droplets, use a dedicated macro lens, e.g. 100mm f2.8. These lenses allow you to focus at very short distances while maintaining sharpness. Prime lenses. A 50mm or 85mm prime lens with a wide aperture, e.g. f1.8, is ideal for portraits, letting you get close while achieving a creamy bokeh effect. Telephoto lenses. For wildlife or distant subjects, a telephoto lens, e.g. 72 to 200mm, lets you get closer optically without disturbing the scene. Adjust your aperture. Use a wide aperture, e.g. f1.4 to f2.8, to blur the background and isolate your subject. This is especially effective when shooting close-up portraits or still life. Be mindful of depth of field. When you're very close, even a small aperture shift can drastically change what's in focus. Mind your focus. When shooting close, autofocus can struggle, especially in low light or with low contrast subjects. Switch to manual focus for precision, particularly in macro photography. Use focus stacking for macro shots to combine multiple images with different focus points, ensuring every detail is sharp. Consider composition. Follow the rule of thirds, or center your subject for impact. But don't be afraid to break rules for creative effect. Fill the frame strategically. Leave just enough negative space to avoid a cluttered look. Example: for a close-up of a flower, focus on the stamen and petals, but include a sliver of the stem or leaf to provide context. Practical tips: stabilize your camera. Close-up shots amplify camera shake. Use a tripod or increase your shutter speed, e.g. 1/250s or faster, to ensure sharpness. Lighting matters. Soft, diffused light, e.g. from a cloudy sky or a reflector, works well for close-ups, as it minimizes harsh shadows. For macro, consider a ring light or small LED for controlled illumination. Be patient, especially with living subjects like animals or people. Wait for the right moment to capture authentic details. Example scenarios. Portrait. Instead of a full body shot, move in to capture just the subject's face, focusing on their eyes to convey emotion. Nature. Get close to a leaf with dewdrops to highlight their sparkle and texture, using a macro lens. Street photography. Approach a street vendor's hands as they work, capturing the motion and texture of their craft. 2. Changing perspective. Shifting your perspective, whether by shooting from a low angle, high above, or an unusual vantage point, can transform an ordinary scene into something extraordinary. It challenges viewers to see the world in a new way and adds variety to your portfolio. Why change perspective? Create uniqueness. A fresh angle makes your photo stand out in a sea of standard eye-level shots. Alter scale and context. A low angle can make a subject appear larger and more imposing, while a high angle can make it seem smaller or more vulnerable. Enhance storytelling. Different angles evoke different emotions. For example, a worm's eye view of a child can emphasize their curiosity, while a bird's eye view of a cityscape conveys its vastness. Add depth. Unusual angles can create leading lines or layers that draw viewers into the image. How to change perspective. Go low. Worm's eye view. Get down to the ground to shoot upward. This makes subjects appear grander or more dramatic. Example: lie on the ground to photograph a tree canopy or a pet looking down at you. This perspective emphasizes height and creates a sense of awe. Tip: use a camera with a tilting LCD screen or a right-angle viewfinder to make low-angle shooting more comfortable. Go high. Bird's eye view. Shoot from above, either by climbing to a higher vantage point, e.g. a staircase, hill, or drone, or holding your camera overhead. Example: capture a flat lay of a beautifully arranged meal or a top-down view of a winding river to show patterns and shapes. Tip: drones are excellent for high-angle shots, but ensure you follow local regulations and prioritize safety. Try unconventional angles. Dutch tilt. Tilt your camera slightly, e.g. 15-30 degrees, for a dynamic, edgy feel. This works well in action shots or creative portraits. Through objects, shoot through a window, fence, or foliage to add a framing effect or a sense of voyeurism. Reflections. Use mirrors, puddles, or glass to capture your subject from a reflected angle, adding intrigue. Example: photograph a couple through a rain-streaked window for a moody, romantic vibe. Experiment with framing. Use natural frames, e.g. doorways, arches, or branches, to enhance your perspective and draw attention to your subject. Example: shoot a landscape through a cave opening to create a sense of discovery. Move around your subject. Circle your subject to find unexpected angles. For example, shoot a sculpture from below to highlight its contours, or from the side to capture its silhouette against the sky. Tip: take multiple shots from different angles in one session to compare and choose the most compelling perspective later. Practical tips. Check your background. Changing perspective can introduce new background elements. Ensure they complement, not distract from, your subject. Use wide-angle lenses. A wide-angle lens, e.g. 24mm, exaggerates perspective, making foreground elements appear larger and adding depth. Perfect for low-angle or dramatic shots. Stay safe. When shooting from unusual vantage points, e.g. rooftops or cliffs, prioritize safety and secure your gear. Practice mobility. Be ready to crouch, climb, or lean to get the shot. Wear comfortable clothing and shoes for outdoor shoots. Example scenarios. Architecture. Shoot a skyscraper from street level, looking straight up, to emphasize its towering presence. Wildlife. Get low to photograph a frog at its eye level, making it the hero of the frame. Events. Climb a balcony to capture a wedding dance from above, showcasing the patterns of movement. Combining both techniques. For maximum impact, combine getting closer with changing perspective. For example, get close to a subject and shoot from a low angle to emphasize both detail and scale. Imagine photographing a child's muddy boots up close from ground level to capture the texture of the mud and the towering presence of the child. Use a macro lens from a high angle to capture intricate details of a small object, like a watch's gears, in a way that feels expansive. Common mistakes to avoid overcrowding the frame. When getting close, ensure your composition isn't too cluttered. Leave breathing room for balance. Ignoring lighting. A unique angle won't save a poorly lit shot. Always consider how light interacts with your perspective, forgetting context. Close-ups are powerful, but sometimes a wider shot provides necessary context. Balance both in your portfolio. Rushing the shot. Take time to explore angles and distances. The best perspective often reveals itself after experimentation. Gear recommendations. Lenses. a 50mm prime for portraits, a 100mm macro for details, a 24mm wide angle for dramatic perspectives, or a 70-200mm telephoto for distant subjects. Tripod, a sturdy tripod with a low height option, e.g., Manfrotto Be Free, for macro or low-angle shots. Accessories, a reflector or small LED light for close-ups, a drone for aerial perspectives, and a polarizing filter to reduce glare in outdoor shots. Camera settings, prioritize manual mode for control over aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, especially in close-up or low-light conditions. Practice exercises. Close-up challenge. Pick one subject, e.g., a flower, a person, or an object, and shoot it from 3 distances: far, medium, and very close. Compare how the mood changes. Perspective. Hunt. Photograph the same subject from 5 different angles, e.g., eye level, low, high, tilted, and through an object. Note which angle tells the strongest story. 1-hour experiment. Spend an hour in a single location, e.g., a park or street, and shoot only close-ups or unusual angles. Review your shots to identify what worked.